through and like, what the hell are they? Like, what are people asking through a Contact Us button? That led me to this. I wrote an article that got so many views and so many comments, it just shocked me because, I mean, I do write. I don't write as much as I should, but when I think I have something good to say, I want to write about it. So I looked at the same dealer and I said, wow, this dealer's Contact Us page, their Meet the Staff page, has a full-blown biography. It has pictures or videos of the people that work there, and this page has every single department nailed, right? Well then, as I looked at their Contact Us leads, what blew my mind is, see the send to message button that's to the right, that's actually right here? That send a message is a direct message that a customer can send directly to the salesperson. We still capture it in the back end of the dashboard, but we can view it, but that email does go directly to that customer. I was shocked how many customers came onto a website, tried to find the last person they did business with 3 years ago. How many of your salesmen are complaining that the internet department's taking my customer, right? I'm sure you guys hear it every single day. I'm not going to say this is going to stop it, but the amount of leads that went directly to salespeople made all the salespeople believe in this strategy. The amount of service leads that came through this website of people just simply wanting to know if their car was ready, then they found that it's a better way to communicate with a direct message. Well, now I'm seeing these leads, customers are trainable, they're starting to go up now, right? So on your, I guess, Meet the Staff page, you have to have the ability for a customer to directly contact that customer. I haven't really seen any foul play with customers doing that, but I'd also recommend that you still capture that lead in your CRM so management and admin at least be able to read what's going on with these direct contacts. But the amount of leads that were generated, again, 350% higher than the other sites that had the Contact Us button on the home page. So this is a second level of what you need to do to drive those up. Reading these, they were all about car deals, every single one of them, or they were about somebody that was really pissed off. They wanted to give the dealership one last shot to fix it before they went and blasted you online. So without those buttons, you wouldn't get that. They would just blast you online because they would probably try and call you, and as you didn't answer the phone or maybe you were busy, that's usually a bad sign. So let's talk homepage pop-ups. I know that every dealer in this room hates a homepage pop-up. I hate them too, but don't shoot the messenger. They are the 4th highest lead form on all dealer websites, but here's what's interesting. Homepage pop-ups do not exist on every website that we've built. So the fact that they're the 4th highest converting form and they're not on every website tells me that they work. So what did I have to do? I had to dig in the data and find out what type of homepage pop-up is a dealer putting on their website that actually makes it work. Because I had a lot of dealers who had them and they had no leads. And I found something, again, right before your eyes, very simple. Every homepage pop-up that worked had a dollar number figured into the homepage pop-up. So it's either $39 and $99 a month, or it's $2,000 off, or it's $6,000 off, or it's $300 off. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this company, but the name of the company is called HookLogic, and they've been doing some things with, gift cards and things of that. Guys, they built this company on the fact that they're living off your traffic that comes to your website, and they're basically having you give something away, which is what exactly a homepage pop-up does anyway, right? So it's nothing special that they're doing, but they're playing off of a concept that works. So even though you don't like this, it does work, and I'm going to give you one way to make it better so you have less pop-ups, but it's going to require that you add chat to your website, which we're going to talk about in a second. So the dealership that I'm going to feature, who's the #2 Hyundai dealership in the nation, is Toms River Hyundai out of New Jersey. And we piloted something with them that had to do with chat. So they've been with us for almost 5 years now. And one of the things that we wanted to pilot with them was a lot of dealers asked me, hey Dave, I know you guys sell chat to where you guys manage it. You sell chat to where the dealer manages it. You have chat where you guys jump into it. All that's great. But here's my question, Dave. Do I put the real person that works at the dealership in the chat window, or do I put, pretty girl in the chat window? The person doesn't look there, or maybe she's another country. Who do I put in this window? Well, what I found out was neither of them. The thing that worked the best was to put the offer, your best offer, to Nick's point earlier, in the chat window, because that offer, if it's strong enough, like this one, right? $5,000 off your Kelley Blue Book trade, that was the opening icebreaker to the majority of the chat conversations on this website. The nice thing was the customer could click that banner and then go land on that page with exactly explain what the offer was about, to where now we can capture that customer's information as the chat window follows them. So if you want to eliminate at least one pop-up and you do have chat, I would highly recommend that you put your best offer. If you can't put an image in there, then open up the greeting with your offer. It's that simple. If you can't do the image, open up the greeting with the offer. So instead of welcome to, Kirkland Toyota, how about welcome to Kirkland Toyota? Would you like to hear about the $6,000 off Kelley Blue Book offer? That's what you need to do. That will be the opening conversation to generate more chat leads. So let's talk about chat just a little bit deeper. And again, this is data I think you guys need to have. I always get the question asked to me, which chat platform is better for my dealership? One that I outsource or one that I do myself? So I'm going to be very clear on this. If you do chat yourself and you do a great job, you will do better than any company that you outsource to. Okay? Now, that being said, if I listen to 50 of your phone calls, I would challenge you, most dealers, that you will not do as good on chat as an outsourced company will do. Reason being is that is all we do, is outsource chat. There are numerous agents that if one gets up and go to the bathroom, there's 5 more standing in line. There's tools that are on websites that chat agents use to know exactly what's on your website. And I'll just bounce out for a second because you might be thinking like, what am I talking about? So let me just, we'll go out to this Toms River Hyundai for a second. And let's just make believe that I'm a chat agent. I'm sitting in my office. I got a customer online. Customer comes online and they say, hey, I'm looking for a used, we'll just say a used Hyundai. Okay, so I'm going to go, I'm a chat agent, right? Used Hyundai. And let's just say it's got to be, we'll just say it's got to be a Sonata. So what's happening here is the chat agent has the ability with the right platform to pick your website apart within seconds and give a response if the technology is there. So you, as you're in the dealership, the fact that you might be the same person taking the pictures, or you might be the same person that's on the phone, or the same person that gets up and actually sells the car, or you only have a team of 2 or 3, or you go home and go to sleep at night, the odds are against you. And that is the reason why these chat numbers are what they are. Which is why, for dealers that still don't trust the outsourced solution, there's a thing that is called a hybrid version, which is down there in the bottom left. The hybrid version is a platform that I think a few vendors have now that allows the dealer to watch a chat happen in real time and actually take the chat over from the company they have outsourced it to. So if you don't completely trust the system and you are available, take the chat. If you were to go idle for, let's say, 30 seconds, we'd steal the chat back from you and finish it. Make sense? There's no reason why, as a dealer today, you shouldn't have chat. And when I show you the dealer at the end of this presentation that has a higher than 50% conversion, I'm going to show you what their chat conversion is versus the form leads that get filled out. And if you were thinking in your mind, like, I'm going to ask Dave if the same people that chat are now not going to fill out a form, I'm going to confidently tell you that the people who fill out chat are not the same people that fill out forms. They are not even remotely close. And the information that you get in a chat is by far way deeper than what you're going to get on a lead form. So who's chatting? This is who's chatting. So take this data, what we did, 28,000 chat leads. We ran them through a company called Axiom, who deals with credit data out of Chicago. And this is the data that we got back. For the most part, everybody on this list can buy a car in one way or another. So every once in a while I'll get an objection to where somebody will say, yeah, well, the people who are chatting, they're just playing around. Yeah, definitely, there's no question. There's a lot of people that play around. I'll even give you a stat that's not in this deck. It takes 5 chat conversations to generate 1 lead. 5 chat conversations generate 1 lead. So do you guys have cherry pickers in your BDC? The ones that only want to work the leads that come from the website? Okay, you know who they are. Think about this for a second. I'll give you two things to think about. Number one, if you have cherry pickers in your BDC, okay, and somebody comes online and they start asking questions about, let's just say, a particular car or even your service department, do you think your salesperson is going to handle that chat lead for the service department the way that they should? Okay. Now let's go back to the cherry picking. The reason why dealers cherry pick leads is because they want to do the ones that work, right? Imagine you went through 3 months of chat as somebody in the actual dealership. You engaged in 500 chat conversations, and out of 500 chat conversations, you only came away with 100 conversations you could actually do something with. Are you going to attack the next 500 the same way you attacked the first 500? Or is your mind going to start telling you, chat just doesn't work? What we see, dealers who manage their own chat, instead of their lead volume training customers to go higher, it actually starts going lower. Because you're training customers, if I click the button, nobody's there. If I click the button, I get a half-hearted answer. If I click the button, so this goes on over time, your agents actually get worse and worse and worse. But these are the people who are chatting. But again, if you control this as a great dealership, you will do a better job chatting on your own, but it is a beast to control. I will promise you that. Okay, so let's move along a little bit. So one of the things that I've seen in the industry, and we've seen this in our websites, which caused us to create a tool of our own, I was pretty shocked at how many dealers used a third-party plugin for the credit pages of their website. Couple names, DealerCentric, Credit Jockey, there's a few of them. So as I went to our websites, I said, man, there is a lot of dealers who have these applications, and as customers come on our website and submit a lead, I don't get to see that lead that got submitted to somebody else's application. So I'm losing data, right? I want to know, are these things working? So I reached out to all these different vendors, and I got them to agree to start sending us the data, like as if it were their CRM company, so I can start finding out, are these things really generating a lot of leads, or is this just smoke and mirrors? And I found out these things were generating a lot of leads. The numbers are right there. So dealers that had 4,500 visits, the ones that had a framed-in application got 53 leads on average, and the ones who didn't got 14. So me being who I am, I said, you know what? We're going to create our own tool, and we did. It's called the Virtual Credit Consultant, and I'll show you what we did and why we did it. So as I dug into this data a little bit faster and quicker, I said to myself, you know what? Why aren't our lead form, our pages working? So I had a whole bunch of heat mapping set up, and I found out that of the customers who did go to the finance pages of our website and the ones that did try to actually submit their information, 45% of them left the page, because the page is this long, right? But the ones that tried to fill it out stopped when you asked for the Social Security number. So then I'm like, wow, well, what the hell can a car dealer do without a Social Security number today, right? So I reached out to TransUnion, right? Got into a conversation, had this bright idea, and I said, how do these credit card companies sell, they send me these credit cards, they say, hey, $8,500 you're approved up to, you're pre-approved, they have to have access to my information. They can't just be blindly sending stuff off to people. Well, he goes, well, Dave, what they do is called a soft credit pull. I said, well, what's a soft credit pull? Well, soft credit pull is something that doesn't affect your credit. Like, you can run it 1,000,000 times and it doesn't affect your credit. So I said, well, how does it work? He goes, well, it's simple. All you need is 5 pieces of information from a customer. Okay, well, what are the 5, right? A name, a phone number, an email address, and an address, right? So those are the 5, right? So I go, okay, let me get this right. If I get these 5 things and I don't need a Social Security number and I can send this to TransUnion, what can you send me back, right? What can you send me back? So he goes, well, Dave, if you give me those 5 pieces of information, a dealer could choose each one of those 5 tiers up there and decide which customer they want to do business with. So when this is over, and I used to do this in front of everybody, but a couple of people got embarrassed, I can actually take anybody in this room, your 5 pieces of information, and I will pull down your credit score right in front of you, in front of the whole room if you wanted me to plug in. But if you want to do it on the side, I'll pull your credit score down. So as a dealer, you could say, okay, if I'm dealing with a customer with a 670 credit score, or I'm dealing with a customer with a 520 credit score, there's a different way to attack that customer. You might even have a special finance department in order to deal with it. But you don't have this information, or you're not even given the opportunity to get this information if you're asking for that social security number right out of the gate. So I'll show you this tool if you want to see it. This has been hugely successful. And to flip back onto the mobile side, if you do have a credit plugin right now, make sure that you have it on the mobile version of your website. It should work in its mobile format so customers can actually use it, so double check that. So let's just move on to service, and this has to do with service schedulers. I hope at this point that you have some sort of a mobile scheduler that's, or just a service scheduler in general that is also mobile compatible, because the dealers who have them, on average, generated 81 leads versus the ones that have the old, boring, long service page, like we have on our websites, only generated 17. So if you don't have a scheduler, get one. Please start paying attention to your service departments. That's my entire background. I only used to just speak on fixed ops until I didn't get rooms like this, so it kind of got disheartening. Give back to your service departments. I don't mean to plead for them, but they mean a lot to your stores, and I know this room is filled with all salespeople, but the banging of the heads between the two departments definitely needs to stop. Keep in mind that computers started in the back before they ever hit the front. Those guys understand technology. I mean, they've been using handheld computers for 15 years. But that being said, you're going to have to lead the cavalry when it has to do with these schedulers, because most fixed ops or service managers were former technicians. So even though they might know the computer, this one, they don't know this one. So they're going to need your help. So the conversion formula that I like to push dealers to is the 50% conversion formula. So I've had quite a few presentations where I've had a few people say, well, then show me a website that did it, right? So I wanted to show one where I guess Brian could vouch for this dealer. This is Toms River Hyundai, and this is their lead conversion on the left-hand side for the 2013 year-to-date. They are 51.8% of every visitor that hits that website, whether it's mobile or whether it's desktop, they have converted that customer either to a phone call or a lead form or a chat. But I want you to look at that chat number and see if anybody wants to argue me whether you need chat now or if it's even the same person. Chat outperforms form leads 2-to-1, guys. And these are not just chat conversations. These are chat leads. These are names, phone numbers, and email addresses. These are not just conversations, okay? That's what that number stands for up there. And we're breaking down further things like mobile and everything else in the dashboard. So it's important numbers. It is possible. I'm hoping the information I gave you guys here today, you can take back to your stores immediately. Honestly, I don't really care if you use a PGI site or not. You got to make these changes. They work. We're willing to share with you the data that I've collected on all these websites, and I was willing to share it with you so you can actually make these changes. So thank you for listening. Hopefully this deck, take back to your store, share it with your team, and let's break for lunch, I believe, shortly. And thank you again. Any questions? I'll take them. Anyone have any questions?
So on the service scheduler, do you have a mobile edition of that as well?
We do, and I'll tell you, one of the biggest schedules right now that I've seen, it's not our product, it's a product called Xtime. I think it's great. There's a lot of manufacturers standing behind it, Toyota being one of them. It's not mobile compatible. That's a problem. It's not, here's the thing, if your car breaks down, guys, what do you have? You have your mobile phone, right? You're in your car. The fact that it's not mobile compatible, it just blows my mind, right? So we do, but depending on who you have, a lot of dealers I see are using the CRM, like Time Highway has one, Dealer Socket has one, but a lot of these aren't mobile compatible. So if I were to go to your mobile website, click on Schedule Service, I would then be trying to scrunch, to fit it into my window in order to schedule an appointment. So on yours, what dealership are you from?
Evergreen.
Evergreen. So let's just go to yours for a second, and let's just see if I were a customer, what I would actually see. To Evergreen. Ford. All right, so let's go over. Okay, so you have your service button. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're Let me get that back up there. Of course, my phone just went dead. Isn't that great?
Okay.
If it would have stayed up, you don't even have a service mobile page. Your site was about to load the full-blown version of your website, which is basically, you can't even use that. Who's your website vendor? And then are you using a scheduler or just using their normal form?
Scheduler, which is this Tuan girl.
So,
Might be yours. I don't know.
you're going to want to get that to the mobile side so you can,
So there's a version of Blondie here
Yeah.
that goes onto the mobile.
Yeah, and we'll have to connect with your vendor because it didn't look like it was indexing any of the mobile links. So it could be a problem with the platform itself that it sits on. It may just not have the capability, which means if the website doesn't recognize the device that's calling it, it can't load the proper link. So it's not, adaptive. Any other questions?
Who did you say the dealer that had the 50% conversion on?
That was Tom's River Hyundai. It's Lester Glenn. They're the number 2 Hyundai dealer in the nation currently.
Tom's River Hyundai.
Another thing that you might want to do too is mystery shop your own store. And I just started doing this last week. I started mystery shopping a whole bunch of dealers, and I'm just now starting to get their second and third responses because I'm real interested in the links that are inside the email because I like to click on them to find out where the hell are they going on a mobile device because I don't think any dealers really realize how many people open every email with their phone. I even open up the email from my phone while I'm working on my desktop. It seems to hit there faster, but none of the links click. And to give you one better, and I'm not a CRM guy, but I'll leave you one last thought. We talked a lot about mobile. We talked a lot about being adaptive. I'll give you one thing to go beat up your CRM companies with. Ask them when they're going to send out mobile compatible emails. So a lot of the emails you're sending out there's actually mobile compatible emails that can be sent out that fit your browser the correct way on a mobile phone. So that's something to think about for the future. You'd have to beat them up for it. I don't think anybody even has it yet, but it's something to think about for sure.
Dude, how different is your contact form from mobile to desktop?
Exactly the same. No different. And not even that. One thing that's important on your mobile forms are every single page and every single form that is available on the full-blown version of your website should be available on the desktop version. Otherwise, you have no way to test it. So like I said earlier, we see a lot of dealers that have Get ePrice on the full version of their site. Then you go to the mobile site, and it's just not there.
So, I think one of the reasons is on the mobile version, I have to keep, blowing it up.
That's because you don't have a mobile website. What you're trying to do on your website is you're trying to navigate a full-blown website from a mobile device. It should recognize that this device is calling it, and then it should adapt to this device's version so you can then navigate. And that has to do with your ads, your forms. Do you guys have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Have you ever sent a link like, let's just say, check out this car, or come check out our service special, and you send a link to your website, right? All customers, 75% of them use Facebook on their phone now. They don't even use a desktop. So all the links that you shared, that they clicked on, they can't even get to what you shared them. So you know what to do is stop clicking on them. So that's one of the issues that you're going to face. That page should be available in its mobile format where your content is stacked nicely so they can take action.
So if you have a mobile site, but just that portion isn't showing up, it's just because it can't read that.
Yeah, you have the old school mobile site. You don't have what would be considered an adaptive or responsive website.
Steve, you got it? Yeah, hey, I was poking around on our Google Analytics, kind of while we were talking about the mobile issue. Is there a way to identify, people that went to a deep link and it blows out to the homepage on the mobile device and see that in Google Analytics, how much traffic you're losing?
Yeah, you can go into analytics, you can identify mobile, and then you can go to the pages, and you'll see the bounce rates will just be crazy. They'll be crazy high.
Yeah, I looked there, I couldn't quite see it, but I guess I just need to look closer.
Yeah, they're definitely in there. And I think Google's going to get better and better with the way they're reporting their data now that they've broken it up between tablet, mobile, and desktop. So I think the numbers are definitely going to be there for you to make some decisions of what you need to do. But this has got to get fixed soon. The industry is going to die from it if it doesn't. It's just sad that we're in the auto industry and we're always considered to be behind the times. And then as I was putting this presentation together, I'm like, man, we are really behind the times, and now I'm starting to understand why. So what are we going to do to fix it? You know, so that's where the focus is. It's mobile. I mean, example, what I gave you guys for the Meet the Staff pages, the direct contact, within the next 2 weeks, every mobile website that we have, on the home page of the mobile website, as part of the main navigation, we're going to have direct message. That's going to be the link. So when a customer clicks on it, it's going to then load the Meet the Staff page. It's going to line everybody up the way it should be and let customers direct message right from their phone directly to the salesperson of their choice or service manager, because it works. So you got to carry it over. Any other questions? Thank you guys. Appreciate it.